Zelensky is speaking up for the rights of the ethnic Ukrainians who are living within the borders of Russia. There are regions in Russia which apparently historically have been populated by Ukrainians, Ukrainian ethnicity. Just as there are ethnic Russians in the east of Ukraine, in Donetsk and other places, and Crimea, there are Ukrainians who've lived in Russia for generations. And this border must have moved many times over the decades and centuries. And the concept of who is Ukrainian and when the identity emerged is debatable. I know some of the hardcore Russian nationalists say they are just blooded like us. The Kievan Rus civilization emerged from Kiev, and that there's nothing different about a Ukrainian than a Russian. But obviously they have a different identity, they have a different language, whether you want to call it a dialect or a language. I've heard both languages spoken and it sounds different enough to be considered a separate language. It's a separate nationality. They have a separate, although still Orthodox church. They have separate Ukrainian churches, and in fact within Ukraine it's a broad spectrum. There are people that follow the Russian Orthodox Church, which was banned in Ukraine. There are people that follow the Ukrainian Church. So all these markers of identity will play into whether an individual feels ethnically Russian or ethnically Ukrainian. And they want to change the law because currently Ukrainians cannot be dual citizens. You can't have a Ukrainian passport and another passport. And funny enough, a very influential individual from Ukraine got around this law with a loophole by saying, I'm not a dual national, I'm a triple national. He was Ukrainian, Cypriot, had a Cypriot passport, and another passport from the Middle East. I can't remember which one it was, but he was a triple citizen. So you can't be a dual citizen, but you can be a triple citizen. So this will open up the door for Ukrainians to have dual nationality. Maybe eventually Ukrainians, ethnic Ukrainians living within the borders of Russia would also have a passport. Surely this just illustrates the fact that over the years, Russia and Ukraine have been intertwined. They've been the same state for so many decades. They're better off working together. I'm not saying be the same country, but they're better off pulling in the same direction. And that was actually the message that Zelensky was elected upon. That was the direction that Yanukovych was going in for what happened. So I hope that we can go that direction again. But how can you, when you've got one state joining NATO, which was originally created to stop Russia or the Soviet Union as it was back then, but the Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore. So why does NATO still exist?